Okay, hi, this is Rabbi Shlomo Zalman Bregman of the Jewish Executive Learning Network with our short and sweet series. I'm opening up my mailbox, my inbox, my text, and my phone, and the questions I get on a regular basis, people have asked me to share publicly. So, here's a question I got just the other day. Somebody asked me, Rabbi Bregman, being materialistic. Look, here's my question. I make money, I keep Shabbos, I'm giving tzedakah, I'm giving at least 10%. I'm not up to the 20%, but I'm giving at least my 10%. Is it okay if I get a little bit materialistic? Is there something wrong with it from the Torah hashkafa? Is the little materialism harmless? Come on, Rabbi, please, what do you think? But be honest and throw me some sources, because that's what you always do. So I'll tell you like this. There's a medrash in in Shmais Rabbah, in section 52.3 that discusses as follows. The medrash discusses the students of Rabbi Shimon bar Yohai. The medrash says that one of the students of Rabbi Shimon bar Yohai, I guess, left his yeshiva. He went abroad. He went afar. He came back a very wealthy guy. And the other students, says the medrash, were jealous of Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai's student. They were jealous. Oh boy, look, he left the yeshiva. He became rich. So Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai, the medrash says, saw what was going on, that the Talmidim were getting jealous. They were makan of the guy. They were envious of the guy. So what did they do? So it says the medrash, Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai said, come Bachrim, come outside. And he was in the city of Meron, where he's buried in all Lag Ba'imers today. I guess that's where the yeshiva was, the Bachrim, the men. And he went to a valley, the medrash says, in Meron. And he said, valley, fill up with dinars. Dinar is a coin, sort of with golden coins. And the valley filled up totally with golden coins. And Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai, the author of the Zohar, he said to the students, says the medrash, he said to the students, whoever wants, let him go take. You want gold? You want to take? You want to take? Take. Go take, go take, go take. But I want you to know something, he said. Whoever is taking now is taking at the expense of his Olam Haba. You are taking away from some of your share from your future Olam Haba. Rav Chaim Shmulevitz Zatzal, the Mirash Shiva, speaks about this medrash in the Sichos Musar, and he says like this. People think materialism is harmless. Material is harmless. The real truth, the Torah hashkafa, is every person has to know themselves what they need and what is extra and what is too much. But once that person reaches for themselves too much extra material comfort, understand, he said, it's coming at the expense of a diminishment of your Olam Haba. It's not a harmless little supplement. So a person has to know, what do I need and what is too much luxury? What is too much for me? One thing I would tell you for sure is the Mishnah in Pirkei Avos. The Mishnah says in Pirkei Avos, chapter 6, Mishnah 4 says, Kachi darka shel Torah. This is the way of Torah. It's a famous Mishnah. It says, eat a little bread with salt and drink water in small measure and sleep on the floor, but toil in Torah. It doesn't sound like a very exciting life. Eat bread with salt and drink a little bit of water and sleep on the floor, but you should really push in Torah. But that's what the Medrash says. That's what the Mishnah says a person is supposed to do. So what does that mean? What does that really mean? Is that really what a Jew is supposed to do? Are you really supposed to sit on the floor like a shmate and eat bread and salt? And if that's what you're supposed to do, I mean, how come we don't do it more often? So what does that even mean? So on the idea of materialism, I'll just share with you this, and we'll conclude with this. Rav Dessler Zatzal, the Michtam Elio, Rav Dessler said as follows. The Mishnah doesn't mean this is what you have to do, but it means this is what you must be prepared to do in order to be able to accomplish in Torah. There's nothing wrong with eating a nice breakfast. But if one day you have to eat bread and salt and there's not even a drink, are you not going to learn? Are you not going to do mitzvahs? You're going to be in a bad mood? Are you going to treat people poorly? It doesn't mean you have to eat bread with salt, but you have to be able to still be content with it without the materialism, if that's what you have. The Mishnah said in Pirkei Avos, the Mishnah said, sleep on the floor. You're supposed to sleep on the floor. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to sleep on the ground. How come we have beds? Gedolim, Tzadikim, Rabbanim, they have beds. The answer is, if you have to sleep on the bed, is your avodas Hashem going to suffer? And if you sleep on the floor, is your avodas Hashem going to suffer? It's fine to sleep in a bed. Get the nicest bed like the kind they advertise on TV. It's all good. Enjoy it. I want you to enjoy it. But says Rav Dessler, you have to understand, make sure your avodas Hashem doesn't become hampered by your attachment to the materialism. So you could be comfortable, eat well, sleep well, drink well, but make sure that you're always still basically not wed to it. You're not stuck with it. You'll still be able to steig and push as a Jew.